The path that lies before you is of your choosing. There are many paths. And you have the will, the free will to choose the path that is most befitting of your heart's desire. It may seem to you at times that the path before you is constricted or limited or not as clear as you would like it to be. And it may also seem to you at times as though the path before you is singular, that there is only one path by which you may navigate. This is not the case. This is never the case. And the more you allow yourselves to open to the full potentiality, the full inevitable promise of the true reality, that reality that is sourced of the infinite nature that is within you, when you align with the source infinite nature that is within you, that is you, breathing, pulsing, vitally you, when you align with this nature, you come into the awareness that there is a multiplicity of choice and a multidimensionality to the reality that surrounds you. So the path that is before you is of your choosing. It is of your will to create the path that lies before you. And the path can take as many twists and turns, or it can be straight as an arrow. It can be whatever your creativeness will choose it to be. The path before you can be filled with ease. It can feel joyful and magnificent. It can feel filled with grace. Or the path before you can feel sticky and not quite as aligned as you might like it to be. It might feel as though every turn you take faces you with yet another rock, another block, another stop. And the only reason for this is because when you come upon these blocks, these rocks, these stops, it is just to help you to tune in more deeply, to point you in another direction that is actually more aligned than the one that you were currently navigating toward. You see, there is great ease on the path when you are aligned in the heart's flow, when you align yourself with the cosmic nature of all that is, and you realize that the infinite nature of the cosmos is pulsing within you at all times, and it is there that you find the compass that directs you toward the greatest potential of your beingness in this now experience. It's no big deal when you make a turn and you find yourself facing a rock that seems insurmountable. It's no big deal. In fact, sometimes standing there facing that rock is when it becomes most evident to you that the direction you were thinking was the best one for you to take. It becomes so very clear that there is another direction that is much more worth your while. So if you remember that the path is of your choosing, because it is, and if you can accept that the path that you are navigating is within your responsibility, meaning anything that comes to you along the path has been a responsible, whether conscious or not, creation on your part. So the more conscious you become, the more aware you become, the more awake you become, the more attuned you become, the more connected you become to the source nature that is you, within you. The more connected, the more in union, the more in harmony you become. with the infinite nature of you, the more ease and grace that flows along your path. So the invitation then, in these times that you are now navigating, where it seems as though there may be more rocks placed than you would like, where it seems as though the path before you looks unclear, the invitation is for you to open the potential and the possibility, to open the flow, to allow the flow that is eternally, infinitely available to you to open within you and through you. Allow the current of infinity to flow freely through you, and allow yourself to give yourself to that current, to that stream of infinite wisdom, that stream of infinite intelligence. Train yourself, practice yourself. Practice yourself into the journey that is navigated by way of the heart. This takes some training, this takes some time. In your earthly experience, this takes your willingness, your commitment to participating in such a way that allows you to find your way by way of the heart, and retraining the mind to agree to this process. Can you allow yourself? Can you allow yourself this flow? Can you allow yourself more ease? Would you be willing to allow more grace into your experience? We hear you resounding, yes, yes, of course, but... And we want you to recognize that the but that you add, this but is your mind. Your heart leaps first. Your heart leaps forward and says, yes, 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 of course we are willing. Yes, of course we are willing to allow more ease. Yes, of course we are willing to allow more grace. Yes, of course we are willing to allow more freedom. Because the vibrational quality of these experiences, the experiences of grace, ease, and freedom, these are qualities, vibrational experiences, frequencies that the heart knows well and vibrates closely with. So when the heart leaps forward and says, yes, 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 open the flow, 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 yes, 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 open the flow to more ease, more grace, more freedom, yes, open the flow. And the very next thought that enters in is one of, but this is the opportunity. This is the invitation to retrain the mind, to ask the mind to relax, to ask the mind to survey the vibrational quality that the heart is experiencing, and ask the mind to find its way into that vibrational frequency. To ask the mind to trust. And when you begin to feel that the mind is leaning in just a little bit, when you feel that the mind is bending just a little bit, allowing more space to feel into the vibrational frequency of ease, grace, freedom, flow, the doorway is open. And what begins to happen is an evolution, an amplified momentum toward the higher heart mind. There is a synergy that begins to occur when the mind leans into the heart for its referencing. And when the heart and the mind are connected in this way, with the heart pulsing the vibrational frequency of greatest alignment forward first, and the mind is the willing participant in that frequency, there is greater vibrational alignment. And the true infinite intelligence that is available to you and through you becomes evident. And the higher heart mind is able to guide your way on. So if it is, and of course it is, if it is a clear path before you that you desire, if it is a path filled with grace and ease and freedom and flexibility, change of the most delightful nature, if this is the path that you desire, if this is the path that you want for yourselves, know that it is yours. It is up to you. It is up to you. It is of your choosing. And the way to navigate toward this reality is to deepen into the experience of the higher heart mind, that connection, that infinite, intimate reality. Play with this experience. Experiment with what we are sharing with you. Bring yourself into the training ground. Bring yourself into the playground of experience. Practice yourself into this experience. We promise you this is available to absolutely everyone. And if there is a natural way to navigate, this is the way. There are many paths that will lead you to this experience, and we understand that there are many different processes and different ways that could feel resonant and appealing to each of you. It's not so much about how you get there, you see. It's not so much about how you get there, you see. It is more about how you point yourself toward the experience. And it is more about your commitment to living the most brilliant expression of your source infinite nature. So we invite you, find what it is that resonates for you. Allow yourself to tune in to tap into the source infinite nature of you, living and breathing vitally well within you at all times, no matter what, in all ways, always, no matter what. We invite you to open the flow, open the flow, open the flow. Allow for grace in change. Grace in change. Isn't that a delightful concept? You see, change is inevitable. Because we are in a forward-moving cosmos. There is only the forward momentum of creation throughout time and space, and no time and no space. This is truth. And so, as we infinitely spin forward, creating, vibrating, choosing the reality that we are living. What joy it will be when we choose to become more consciously aware of the journey, more consciously aware of the choices that we have, more consciously aware of that which lies before us is of our choosing. So when we open the flow, when we allow the flow, we open the flow, we open the flow, open the flow, open the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, open the flow, open the flow, open the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, open the flow, open the flow, open the flow, open the flow, allow the flow. Allow the flow, allow the flow, open 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 the flow. Open the flow. In the opening of the flow within us, the flow that is of Source Infinite, through us, as us, in us. We can be assured, we can trust that greatness lies before us. Complete joy, complete and utter and total expansion in the joy, bliss, ecstasy of life. This is your experience. Is this not the way you would choose it to be? Your hearts resound, yes, 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 of course it is. Go there. Allow the experience. And anything that would stand in the way, anything that would put up friction or resistance or stoppers or rocks in the path, just embrace it all. And remember, there is no such thing as stuck. There is no such thing as stop. Only forward moving momentum. So embrace it all. It is all beautiful, it is all on purpose, it is all good. Look for what it is that you see in the reflection of these moments, these experiences along the forward moving path. Embrace, accept, and adjust your sails. It is beautiful, don't you agree? It is beautiful. This is the way forward. Open the flow. Grace in change. Open the flow, 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 open the flow. Allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, open the flow, allow the flow, open the flow, open the flow, allow the flow. Grace and change, change and grace and change, grace and change, grace and change, grace and change. Allow the flow, open 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 the flow. Allow the flow, open the flow, open the flow, allow the flow, open 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 the flow. Allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow, allow the flow. Grace, grace, grace and change, grace and change, grace and change. Allow the flow, open the flow, grace in change. Be. Infinitely be. Grace in change. Open the flow. Allow the flow. Be. Be the flow. Infinitely we are one. You are a child of the universe. We are the voice of the cosmic soul. In the light of love, we are one. Together, we create forward. Open the flow. As one, we open the flow. We are the flow. Be the flow. All love, all light, infinitely. We are as one. And so it is.